Здравствуйте! Меня зовут Вера Алексеевна Полякова-Норвуд. Добро пожаловать на урок русского языка. Hello and welcome to class. We have already learned with you the first 12 letters from the Russian alphabet. And today we shall continue with the study of the Russian alphabet. But before we go any further, we really need to stop and review those 12 letters that we already learned. Let's take a look at this. This letter group is composed of those letters that the Russian alphabet shares with the English alphabet. And as you remember, these letters not only look the same, but also represent the same sounds as the corresponding letters of the English alphabet. A, E, K, M, O, T. And let's do this one more time. A, E, K, M, O, T. This is the easiest group, but let's move on to our second group. And as you remember, this group is composed of those letters that may look the same, yet they do represent completely different sounds. So now please pay close attention. S, R, E, N, V, P. And yes, let's do this again. S, R, E, N, V, P. Хорошо. We also learned a few Russian words. And you remember that the Russian people call their capital Moskva. Russians love sport. The best way to get around in a Russian city is by metro. And when you are in a hurry, you catch a taxi. When you would like to have a nice meal, you go to a restaurant. When you would like to see a nice movie, you go to a кинотеатр. And yes, the Russian people enjoy drinking cacao. And the first word that a Russian child says is mama. And many families have this little animal at home, кот. Now let's practice reading. We will take a look at these words on our screen. And I will give you a second to read them. Кино, кинотеатр, ресторан. Кино, кинотеатр, ресторан. Хорошо. Very good. Let's look at 3 more words. Again, go ahead, read these words out loud in your classrooms. Москва, спорт, стоп. Москва, спорт, стоп. Хорошо. Time to pick up your pens. Pens, pencils, and paper. We are going to practice with cursive. So let's begin. What's the name of the Russian capital? Moskva. And please remember about the capital letter here at the beginning of a word. Moskva. Moskva. What's the word for a movie? Кино. And where do we go to see a nice movie? Кинотеатр. Кинотеатр. And this is one word. Кинотеатр. And when we are hungry, we go to a ресторан. 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 You know that the Russian people very much enjoy sports. Sport. Sport. And what would be the best way to get to a sports event? Yes, you can go by metro. Metro. Or if you are in a hurry, catch a taxi. Taxi. Хорошо. Хорошо. You remember how important it is to keep practicing with cursive letters and with the Russian words in their cursive format. So keep working on that. And now I want you to look at a few pictures and identify everything that you see in Russian. So let's begin with this. The name of the Russian capital is Moskva. And what is this? Metro. Metro. In fact, the Moscow subway system is famous all over the world. Many subway stations are decorated with different kinds of marble, and you will see columns and statues, mosaics. So Moscow Metro is really a very interesting way of traveling and a very beautiful place to be. When you are visiting in that city, take a ride in Московское метро. Ну, хорошо. But we need to look at more letters from the Russian alphabet because we are not finished with that yet. So the letters for today are Z, Y, L, U, D. Z. And look at this letter. It has a nice little cap on top. Y gives you the same sound as the English letter Y. L, U, D. We will concentrate our attention on two of these letters now. What's this one? D. That's the Russian letter D. And yes, the Russian language borrowed it from the Greek alphabet. Looks like the Greek delta. The Russian letter D comes with a D sound. Always gives us a D sound. D. And what is this one? U. That's the Russian letter U. U. Whenever you see this one in a word, in a Russian word, you know it represents the U sound. So let's take a look at a few words and we will try reading. Look at this. Da. That's how the Russian people say yes. Da. Da. Starts with the letter D. Da. And what's this? Нет. And that's the Russian word for what? No. Да. Нет. Да. Нет. Хорошо. Very good. Let's look at our next word. Дом. Дом. Dom in Russian means a house and also a home. Dom. Now in the English language we have the word domestic, and you can immediately identify the relationship between these two words. It's the same root. Domestic. Dom. A house, a home. Let's look at the next one. Вода. When we are thirsty, when we feel thirsty, we can take a drink of вода, a drink of water. Вода. Вода. And look at this letter. Вода. Water. Let's look at this word. It's an international word, and you can easily read it, and also you can guess what it means. Radio. Radio. A radio. 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 So let's look at our new words on one page. Да, дом, вода, radio. All of these words contain the letter D. D. Now let's look at the words that come with the letter U. U. And our first one is student. Student. What does it mean? A student. Student. But please remember that this Russian word student means a college student or a university student. 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 And if you are a lady and you study at a college or a university, then you are a studentka. You see these two letters at the end? They turn a male into a female. Studentka. A female college student, a female university student. Studentka. Student, studentka. And if you are a student or a studentka, then you study at an institute. Institute. That's the Russian word for college. But it sounds close to the English institute. Just remember that in the Russian language, institute is an institution of higher learning, a college. Institute. Are you saying this after me? Institute. So a student or a studentka studies at an institute or at an universitet. What a nice long word. Universitet. It may look long, but it's no longer than the English word university. Universitet. Another international word, another cognate. Universitet. Universitet. So student and studentka study at an institute or universitet. So let's look at our nice learned words. Student, studentka, institute, universitet. Хорошо. And now the picture time. Let's look at a few pictures and you will identify everything that you see in Russian. So what is this? Dom. Dom. And whom do we see in this picture? Student. And we also see a female college student. Studentka. Student, studentka. And this is a place where they study. Universitet. Universitet. Very good. Very good. And now again we are picking up our pens and pencils. We will take a look at how we work with these letters in their cursive format. So let's look at this. The letter D. there. And I will do this for you again. The letter there. Looks very nice. This is the capital letter there, and this is its lowercase version. Again, try not to confuse the Russian letters with the English letters. This is the lowercase there that always comes with a D sound. There. And then we talked about the letter U, right? The letter U. And this is what we do to represent the letter U in its cursive form. As you can see, it is not difficult at all. And look at the lowercase. The letter U. Now the interesting part, we are going to work on the words. How do the Russian people say yes? Da. Just the two-letter word. Da. We begin with the letter D and connect it to the letter A. And what's the Russian word for house? Dom. Dom. And of course we can do this one more time. The letter D connecting to the letter O. We're getting out of the letter O, stop right above the line, and work on the letter M. Dom. Dom. It means a house, but it also means a home. Dom. And when we are thirsty, what do we drink? Вода. Вода. Begin with the letter V, connected to the letter O. Now we are working on the letter D, and we are connecting it to the letter A. Вода. Вода. Water. And of course, it's always nice to listen to the radio. Radio. This is such an easy word. Radio. Okay. And now the U words, right? The U words. Let's begin with a male college student. Student, right? Student. And what do we do to turn a male college student into a female college student? We simply need to add two more letters. K, A, studentka. And now it's a female college student. So let's, and where do they study? Institute, a college, institute, institute, but they can also study at the university. Университет. Университет. This is a long word, but just do your letters very carefully and watch what you are doing. You will arrive right here at the end. Университет. A university. Хорошо. Well, let's keep going. And our next letter is L. L. It comes with the L sound. The letter L. This letter may look familiar. It's the Russian letter Z that comes with a Z sound. Z. Z. And We also need to take a look at this. The Russian letter Y. And you remember it gives us exactly the same sound as the English letter Y. 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 So let's look at the words where these letters occur. What does this word say? Plan. Plan. Before we decide to do something, we need a plan. A plan. Plan. Remember that this letter is always pronounced as an A. Plan. And what season do we all enjoy most of all? Лето. Summer. Don't have to go to school. Лето. Лето. Say that one more time. Лето. Starts with the letter L. Лето. And after лето comes fall, and then зима, winter. Зима, winter. In Russian, зима is cold. Зима, зима. And during those long winter evenings, what do we watch? Телевизор. Телевизор. That's what you are watching now. Телевизор. Телевизор. And look at these words all on one page. План. Лето. Зима. Телевизор. Хорошо. And now identify everything that you see in Russian. What is this? Телевизор. Телевизор. What's the name for this snowy season? Зима. Зима. And what is this? Лето. Лето. Хорошо. There are only 3 more words that we need to learn today. Look at this. Мой. Мой. That's how the Russian people say my. Мой. Notice the letter it ends in Y. Мой. Мой. The same letter occurs at the end of this word. Русский, which means Russian. That's the name of the language you are studying. Русский. Русский язык, the Russian language. Русский. And of course, every Russian person, every русский enjoys a ride in a troika, a carriage pulled by 3 horses. Troika. That's a great activity during zima. Troika. So let's look at our new words. Мой, русский, тройка. Now let's go back to our writing, because we need to look at how we represent these letters in the cursive format. And this is what you do. The letter Z, and this is its lowercase form. The letter L, again, remember to begin above the line, curve on the line, go up, make your top pointed, and come down and curve to the right. And the lowercase is just a smaller version of the capital letter. And now the letter Y. Don't forget about giving it this nice little cap on top. This letter never goes bareheaded. It always carries this nice little cap. That's the lowercase. Again, we ought to remember to cap it this way. The letter Y. Well, let's try writing the words. Мой, русский. You know, that's the name of the language that we study. Русский. And before we start doing something, you know, we ought to have a plan. Our favorite season is, we all agreed on it, лето. And then you know that during the winter time, during зима, we probably spend more time watching телевизор. Телевизор. Okay. It may not be easy right now, but believe me, as you practice, as you spend more and more time working on the cursive Russian letters and the Russian words in their cursive format, it'll just be second nature. Not that difficult at all. Хорошо. So we will take a look at a few pictures, and I will ask you, что это? What is this? When you respond, please precede every word with это. This is. So I will be asking you, что это? And when you respond, begin with это. This is. Это телевизор. Or это дом. This way, we will be communicating in complete sentences. So let's look at these pictures. Okay. Что это? Это Москва. Что это? Это дом. Что это? Это университет. Что это? Это ресторан. Что это? Это метро. Что это? Это лето. Что это? Это зима. Что это? Это тройка. Это тройка. Хорошо. Very good. Хорошо. So please complete all the follow-up exercise and keep writing those words in cursive, all those new letters and all the new words in their cursive format. And when we meet with you next time, we will look at the next group from the Russian alphabet. Большое спасибо. Thank you very much. And до свидания.